everyone, welcome back to our channel. Hope you're doing well. Brand new video today, and today we're going to be discussing about children and chores. So parents, get in here. Let's just connect and go over our thoughts on chores. What age is recommended to start introducing your kids to chores? Should have what is the reasonable quantity of chores that a kid should have? And let's just discuss it, right? So just in case you do not know, we did a video recently on a quick Q&A, parents edition, where we were asking the kids questions, and one of the questions that came up was, I think it was, who gives you more chores? Yes. And of course, they said mom. But at that point, we told them to run through all the chores they do around the house. And I don't know about you, but I was actually surprised.
So they did quite a bit.
Yes.
When they started listing it.
And then I was like,
And they listed it quite easily.
I'm like, are we doing too much? Is that too much? Like, what was this? So they mentioned that maybe you should watch that video, but they mentioned laying the bed, not laying on
emptying
the
the dishes from the dishwasher, loading the dishwasher, sweeping the kitchen floor.
Just quite a number, quite a number. But hearing them, one would think that it meant that they do all these things consistently, and I mean they do consistently. Let me give them some credit. Let me give them good credit. They do it consistently, but just sometimes where I emptied the dishwasher 10 times and then they empty it 2 times. And in their head, that's a lot. But it just got us thinking, and we're talking about this. Number one, what is the reasonable amount of chores that kids should have? And maybe it also gets us even to ask the question, what do you think the best age is for you to start? What do you consider the best age to start introducing your kids to chores?
I think that there's always a chore that is appropriate for certain ages. Of course, a 1-year-old, I don't know what they want to do. But when you start getting into that 2 years and stuff, you can start sending your child hey, these are your pair of socks, go put it in your drawer and things like that. Let them be involved in some way. I think 2 things that does. One is that bonding between parents and child. That as you're doing stuff, they're also there with you. But the second thing as well is gives them a sense of responsibility, that they are responsible for what is their own stuff.
And it's funny you mentioned that sense of connection, because it's interesting how when they are younger, they're actually wanting you to send them and where should I put this? What should I do? Particularly maybe if you have a first child and then the second child comes and you're saying, grab the diaper, grab the lotion, But at some point they get older and then it becomes
work. Because they have more interesting things they want to do.
I know. But the kids, right, on that day that we did the video, when we asked them, what did they think? Did they feel like they did too much or too little, and just right?
And they said no, it was just right.
And I was surprised because I was actually expecting them to say too much.
But I honestly don't think they do too much. Again, they might perceive it as being too much, but I don't think they do too much.
I don't. So maybe we should, should we be giving them more? Is there room for more? Out there, what are you guys, what are the chores that you are giving your kids at different ages? Let us know in the comments, right? And another thing to consider is when we are thinking about what age to start kids off on chores, there's always that thing with the firstborn, secondborn, or thirdborn, depending. I know, for instance, Zizi will tell you that she feels like she's doing more than Kobe. But also, she forgets that because she has started doing things, we also involve Kobe more. Maybe at an age that is earlier than when she started doing similar stuff. But because we don't want it to a situation where she feels like, she's doing more. And then Kobe is doing less.
I don't think Zizi can even. I know she says it, but it's not true. It's not true. To your point, one is, I think Kobe started out doing things at a much earlier age because she already had an older one, and so when Zizi is doing stuff, she naturally wants to do with him. Secondly, where Zizi grew where Zizi grew up, or when we were growing up back home in Nigeria, we had helps. Okay, so she didn't have to do a lot of things, but there's no help, but you're your own help. You know, so she's had to do some of those. Kobe has had to do some of those things.
Yeah.
That Zizi probably did at a much later stage in life. But I think overall, it's probably not even about how much or how early you start off. It's just ensuring that the kids understand the sense of responsibility that they should have.
Yeah.
What is theirs, even without being told, you should know to make your bed. You should know to keep your room tidy.
Yeah.
You should know to take care of your own stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And just making sure that you are helpful. You don't just think that if someone will do all your things for you. No. At a certain age, there's always something to do.
Yeah, 100%. And of course, because you all live in the same house, like everybody, all hands should be on deck.
Yes,
particularly
absolutely.
like Frank said, in this climate where there helps if you bring the ka-ching. But average families, you know, there are no helps.
Yeah.
Everybody is trying to, you know, bring their best foot forward and just, you know, contributing to the running of the household.
Yeah.
So it's just really letting them see that, look, you need to be responsible. And like you said, different levels, different ages, that level of responsibility increases.
And they should own it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes these kids say things like, oh, I'll help you do this. They're not helping me. They're doing it. It's your job. Don't help me. You know, but sometimes they feel like, oh, I'm doing that if I'm helping mommy do that. I get the idea, but also let them know that this is your assignment. You do it. You know, Kobe will come to me and say things like, oh, I'll help you shovel the snow. So shovel snow. I mean, I can't let Kobe shovel snow. I'm like, yeah, Kobe, right now you're helping me, but very soon I will be the one helping you. Because it will be your primary responsibility. I'll just be assisting you to shovel. Yeah,
which really raises a good point as to, I know some people say, and let us know what you guys think. I know some people also introduce the idea of paying children to do chores, like when they are using that as a form of maybe pocket money, for their pocket money and stuff. What do you think about that?
I don't fully subscribe to it. I don't. I mean, we do it there are times when we're trying to raise like legacy child in church. We do it to kind of encourage them because we say we won't just give you money for that job. We want you to work for it, and the way we know to work for it is by doing things. But I feel if you make it a permanent thing, they then do things and they're expecting you to pay them for what is naturally theirs to do. So where do I draw the line? So the moment I don't have money to give you, you won't clean your room or you won't make your bed. No.
Or they'll go about life thinking that, you know, to do certain things you need
must
to be
what's in it. I mean, it's also a good thing in some way for a child to always ask themselves the question, what's in this for me? It's not, there's a balance, but you should be very choiceful about what you choose to do in life. How do I benefit from this, or how does it profit somebody? Maybe not necessarily me, but what's the gain? It's almost like David asking that, what would I get if I take the head of this Goliath? Ask that question before you go fight any child. So again, for any child it's good, but there must be a balance somewhere in there.
But do you remember, like, what age did you start doing chores?
That's a great question. I did chores at least in elementary school for sure. So I remember the earliest I remember will probably be the equivalent of grade 3, grade 4. That would be the earliest I remember. And then I would wash my socks or my undies, and back then it wasn't washing machine, it was like this. You wash it with hand like this. I couldn't wash my uniform because my uniform was thick, it was like khaki. So I couldn't wash it. So my mom would always get people to do that. But I started washing my stuff, and then I don't think I was sweeping around the house. But the thing about me again is because I'm not a mommy's boy, so to say, but I was the youngest. I'm not a mommy's boy. I was the youngest, and I always loved being around my mom. So anytime she was in the kitchen, oh, Frank, do this, Frank, do that, I'll always do it. My sisters, I had 5 sisters, all much older than me. They would always send me on errands, go get my bag, go bring this from my bag, come losing my hair for me and things like that. So,
which I'm benefiting from right now.
So I learned to do some of those things, run errands and all of that. I did all those ones effortlessly. I'm not sure if those ones will count as chores. Yeah, but in terms of, so I did all of that. When my mom was cooking in the kitchen, she'd probably give me something small to be helping out with while she was doing the bigger things. And I'll just sit down there. So yes, I did quite, so I'll say grade 3, grade 4.
For me, I don't really remember, if I'm being honest, like the first, like the first introduction. No, not at all. I did a lot, but I just can't remember what particular age. But I know, of course, I went to a boarding school. So even if I wasn't doing anything at home,
of course. Oh, boy.
in the boarding house, you were like you had portions, and you had what did they used to call that thing in the morning?
It was morning portions.
Morning portions,
Morning portions,
that you do, and it could range from different things, from like mowing the lawn, using it because then it used to be and cutlass, or sweeping the dormitory. Some people even had washing toilets. I probably even had that once. More, but
and it's funny you bring that up, because I was taking a walk with Kobe one day, just very recently, and we passed some tall grasses, and I said, wow, Kobe, this tall grass just reminded me of school, because when we resume school, every time we resume a new session, the grasses would have grown tall, and part of what you needed to bring to school, I'm sure this will sound very weird to some people in this part of the world, part of what we had to bring to school was cutlass. Kobe had to ask me that, what's a cutlass? I had to show him. So for those that don't know, a cutlass is like a machete or a big knife, and we would manually cut those grasses, as in everybody will have their portion. You cut from here to here, and by the time you're done, you have blisters on your hand because you've been cutting grass, But again, I don't know if it was right that we did those things.
Really? Was it child abuse?
I don't think it killed me. I think it was for my own good. Every morning, 5:30, the alarm bell went off. We woke up, go do your portions. Like Funke was saying, some people, you'd have a portion to sweep, or maybe you have to sweep 2 classes, or you have to sweep the hostel, you have to wash the toilet, you have to go fetch some water. Everybody had something. I think it was 5:30 to 6:30 for us at least. Because I also went to a boarding house.
At some point, though, I think I started getting exempted from those things for health reasons. And then I think I was class captain for a long period of time, so I was able to.
But of course, as you become a senior, you now supervise versus doing.
But it's interesting because you were saying something about how you used to and even I did it, like washing some things manually as opposed to now that you have washing machines. And that brings me to the question, and I'm asking you guys out there as well. Even though you have machines and you probably know that you almost always have that around you, should you still consciously teach your kids how to do these things manually? I mean, sweeping is easy because just get a group. In fact, some small spaces, like the space that usually require them to sweep around where they eat in the kitchen, like the breakfast area, that's easy. But you have a hover. Would you just say, okay, leave that when they get to that age and say use the broom, or even for now, like there are small things. I remember when I was first teaching Zizi to just even know how to wash her.
It'll be tough. It'll be tough. Like, I don't know about you, but for me, again, I grew up in a very traditional home, and what I mean by traditional is there were different people that were training me. If my mom didn't do it, any of my 5 sisters could do it. So I had different learnings and different trainings. Why I say that is one of the things that I was told, at least from one of my sisters I remember, is you have to learn to do certain things. And for her, if you don't do it, you're being spoilt. You must learn to wash the dishes. You must learn to wash your clothes. You must learn to do this.
The dishes is a good example.
And I'm thinking about it. Quite honestly, the times have changed. My children may never know how to wash their clothes like this. And it won't be a bad thing. When I was growing up, mop was not even a thing. There was a time we would use brush and water and scrub the floor. You would literally kneel on the floor and you're scrubbing the floor. These kids will never need to do that.
Says who?
No, but they don't need to learn to do that because the technology has afforded them the ease. They can focus that time on something else and go and do something else that is a bit more intellectual. We focused a lot of our effort on hard work, and for us that was rewarding. I think some skills right now are redundant. Some skills are unnecessary. There may never come a time where they will need to apply those skills.
But I just always still feel like still know how to do it.
Why?
Because as they always used to tell us that, what if you are stuck? What if you go somewhere that you don't have those things? Like, I just feel like they should still know how, which takes us back to boarding schools, right? I remember when we used to come on vacations or even interact with children from day schools, there used to be an obvious difference in just that level of responsibility and independence and know-how.
But right now, is there any difference? Is there any difference right now?
Yes.
I beg you. See, I think some kids are just innately responsible. Some kids need some more coaching to be responsible.
Yeah.
I remember the very first year we went to boarding house. Most of us went back home with empty boxes. We had misplaced all our housewares, all our undies, all our socks, all our school uniform. Parents had to buy everything all over again. Why you had some kids that were everything was intact, they had their names written, you know, they had their best sheets and everything. I remember one particular guy was in my house, funny enough, I won't call his name. That guy was so organized. He would fold his stuff, iron it, okay, not iron, but fold it and neatly arrange all his stuff. He was that kind of person that once you put a hand on his bed, he would straighten it out. You know, it was. I couldn't be bothered.
Those people were annoying in school. They were annoying, actually. If you are one of them, kids, let us know.
From a young age, his parents has been giving him chores at home before he came to boarding house.
Was it really?
Most likely. His mom was a teacher. I remember his mom was a teacher, and he kind of came from a prim and proper kind of home. Not my own home, dad. But it was different.
Yeah, but let's get back to when we're talking about, you know, the sometimes firstborns, first girls feeling like they're doing a lot. Particularly, I know that many of you would have seen the popular Monica film that has been, you know, doing the rounds on YouTube and many people watching. But how do we as parents ensure that we're not putting that burden on firstborn children? Because with Zizi, for instance, I don't think we are, but of course our word against ours. And there's also the Zizi that is also hyper responsible in such a way that there's some things that you do not even ask her to do that she just does. For instance, like putting together their snack boxes for school. We just found that she just used to go down and do it like without anybody asking, without anybody telling. Waking, I think we said this before as well, like she'll wake up in the morning because her alarm, Zizi, as in, she's not like me at all. She doesn't get it from me. I cannot even take credit. This is alarm, once it goes off, she's like up. The days that she snoozes, I can count it. Like once the alarm goes off, she's up. She takes a shower, does everything, and then gives her brother a little time, and then at some point she wakes him up. Like we never said, "Oh,
no, don't wake him up."
But because she wants to get to school early, she doesn't want to be late, right? So she's like, "I'm not. Don't worry, I got this.
I'll get this."
So there's also that, you know, and I guess it goes back to you saying that there's some kids that just have it in them.
Yes,
right.
But I think there's also a balance. There's a balance in the sense of one, you know each child's strength. And you tend to lean. So if I know that each time I send Zizi, go to my room and get something for me, she would always get it right the first time. Chances are that you keep sending her. The danger in that is that the younger one does not develop that sense of being able to do that thing well. So you need to also kind of balance it.
That's a true life example in our house, because I'm thinking about it, and that's one of the things that Zizi would complain about, because there's sometimes when you send Kobe to get something and he comes, as in he goes and then he comes back 2 hours later. Maybe that says, "Okay, Zizi," and then she'll be like, "No, find it. You have to get it right." So
it's about knowing one. Each child has kind of their own strength. But as much as you lean on one for something, make sure you try to develop the other. And I say this also knowing that, so growing up, my brother is the one that you almost could not find him to send him on errand. And at some point, people just figured, okay, Frank is always available. Let's keep sending. So they kept sending Frank and they left him. Right now, I'm very domesticated. My brother is the opposite of domesticated, quite honestly. So, and
which brother? We will say.
He knows himself. He knows himself. So again, you want to balance each child and make sure that you are teaching them and letting them learn if they don't know how to do it.
And
but
in our household,
I was just going to say, at the same time, it is also not a lie that certain kids have certain levels of responsibility. And so you want to appreciate that Zizi is a very responsible person. So you typically almost want her to do certain things because she's at that age and you just trust that she will do it regardless.
I guess it's also coming with age, right? Because there's some things that at the age that Kobe is right now that Zizi was not doing, like we were saying.
I agree.
And I feel like Kobe, in fact, there's some chores that we don't even realize that they can do it until they do it.
Yes.
I remember when there used to be a time where I still used to, after like getting clothes from the laundry, I will fold them. Maybe I'll tell them to help with getting it from the laundry, and then we'll take it to their room. But I will still fold. And I think one time you just asked them, like, try and like fold your clothes.
Yeah.
It's your
And put it
room,
away,
right?
yeah.
Be responsible, do it.
Yeah.
And before, maybe the first few times, they will do his goes, and of course, maybe as a perfectionist parent, you want to say, let me redo it, let me redo it. But at some point, I'm like, Funke, you need to step back. Like, they need to learn. The more practice makes perfect, right? The more they do it, the more they get perfect with it. And right now, they take ownership. In fact, you don't even need to tell them.
Just give them their baskets with washed clothes, and they'll figure it out.
Exactly.
And I think part of that started out with us. We'll fold it and give it to them to go put it away. And now they know how to fold it themselves and put it away.
I mean, it might not always be perfect.
It doesn't need
but
to
at
be.
least the prime minister is not coming to
to
view your rooms, right? And back to, it also made me think about laying of beds as well. That it's not like they do it right now, but there was a day that Zizi and I were in her room laying her bed, gisting and everything, and before we got to Kobe's room, he had laid his bed. I was like, what? Be careful, boy, because mommy will answer very easily on this one, all right? But yeah, it's interesting. And I guess as parents, we also need to just realize that these kids are stronger than we are. They are smarter than we think. Or not stronger than we are, they're stronger than we think, smarter than we think. So we should just give them that response because they actually like it, right?
They do. Sometimes, particularly when the TV is not on, they're happy to help.
Which makes me remember one of the comments they made. They were like, "Mommy gives us chores when we are sitting down. Like I don't like to see them sitting." Is it trauma I'm passing?
It's responsibility. They should know because I remember then. Even if you were watching TV and my mom came back from the market with a bag, you have to stand up. You have to go and help her. You know, so the same thing if I come back from shopping and Kobe does this quite honestly, and I'm quite impressed with him. And when we buy things, he wants to help out. So, where do I put this? Where does this go? Where does that go? Do we need to wash the apples? Do we need to, you know, just that sense of being responsible. Again, I say this off the backdrop that I know sometimes people say, should the man be in the kitchen or should the girl? Again, it's a cultural thing. So some of you cannot.
But in this house, we are like breaking all the cultural barriers.
Everybody's everywhere.
Yes.
Again, there's some things I will not send easy to do. Particularly when it's heavy lifting or something that just kind of masculine. Some things are kind of masculine. I again, but beyond that, there are no rules. Everybody does everything. Anybody can wash the dishes. Anybody can sweep the floor. Anybody can. It gets a point. Cooking is the next one that Digi needs to start doing. She's getting to that.
She's been doing well. A bit helping, but we need to like get better.
Absolutely.
On that. Well, I'm thinking of something else, and it's like on the back of something I read off of social media, where a woman, a parent, was talking about how her son had the responsibility. I think it was a 12-year-old. He had a responsibility of always washing the dishes, right? And maybe a few days he had missed. And she had told him, like, oh, don't forget that you are supposed to be the one to wash the dishes. You know, everybody has their roles and everything. And the guy was, you know, maybe tip retain, blah, blah, blah. Just so one day he left for school as usual without washing the dishes. And she went to school, picked him off of school. And brought him home to do the dishes and then told him to go back.
Nigerian lady.
I know, but you know, of African descent, right?
It has to be of African descent.
To do that. So the question is like, what is too much? What extremes do parents would you say is too much for parents to do?
That one that she did, I won't do it.
Enforcing chores.
I won't do that, but I won't call it extreme either. I think when you now get physical is where it's a bit too much. But again,
get physical how?
As in beating the child or things like that, Wow. But in terms of doing that, again, it's not extreme, it's just different.
But I've seen someone else too that brought their kid off of school to come and lay the bed, to make the bed, to make their bed.
I mean, for me, I would rather deprive you of something else because you've not done that. So I trust my mom. If it was my job to wash the dishes and I didn't do it and I went to school, you will come back and there will be no food. And she will tell that the reason why there's no food because there's no dishes, there are no dishes. So go and wash the dishes for then you now bring.
Okay, but after washing.
Well, after washing, you will now eat. So you know that for you to eat, you must wash the dishes. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
You know, so you can tie some things to it, like laying up the bed. Oh, you can't go to the park until you lay your bed. So they know they have to lay their bed before they go to the park. Or you tell them if you go to school without laying your bed, by the time you come back, you can't have snack when you get back home. Or something like that. They know that there are consequences to it. And follow through.
Yeah.
That when they do it, they come back the first day and they know. The next day they won't forget, they will do it. Or if they forget, they will come back and start apologizing from the door. And give me the reason why they forgot.
But really, in the comment section of that post, there were mixed reactions.
I can
of course,
imagine.
Many Africans, like Frank was jokingly saying, could relate, and we're like, oh, you know, and of course, even non-Africans as well. Some people, I think the one for making of the bed was actually a non-African, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
But yeah, there was mixed reaction. So, what do you guys think? Is that too much? Is that an extreme way to enforce child discipline?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I would do it. Maybe never say never. Or maybe if the kids are older and I expect them to be more responsible and to know better. Because now, even though we are saying that they are doing chores, everybody is still fun, is still relaxed, is still some days, you know. Like we said, they are still made, you know, your choice is still to empty the dishwasher, but there are many days I still do it without asking you, and you're there, you know, not watching TV, right? Yeah. But there will be an age where it's not more like play, and it's not more like you should know better.
Absolutely.
So maybe.
The only thing I'll add to that as well is just know at what cost. Yeah, because you want the child to do a chore, but at what cost? Because if you pull them out from school, are you embarrassing them in front of their friends? Does that affect their self-confidence over time? You know, so yes, you now taught them or got them to responsible to do a chore, but now they are socially awkward, or people don't want to relate to them, or they have a self-confidence issue because they feel like you've turned them down in front. Because their friends will know. Yeah. These things go around. Oh, so you don't do your mom came to draw you, you know. And they probably make fun of your child. Something that you didn't even intend for now becomes a disadvantage. Some
parents will tell you that is the point.
I mean, it doesn't help the child. It doesn't help the child.
Yeah, I guess it really is a balanced approach. Wow.
Anyway,
interesting thoughts.
God will teach us to train our children properly.
So because there's no blueprints. Like we just keep, you know, making the rules as we go along, and just hoping that the seeds that we are planting are being watered and of course bearing fruit. And
one thing I've learned is sometimes it's not even about them doing the chores, them being with you when you're doing it. Let them just stay there. You're cooking, let them be in the kitchen. You're mowing the lawn, let them be around you. You're shoveling the snow, let them be there. You know, they're learning. So when the day you say I'm not doing it anymore, you go do it. They're stepping into it.
And it's even I think one of the places where you started from earlier was just even the connections, right?
Exactly.
Because there are many things that, you know, just gisting together even as you're doing it.
Exactly.
And just even realizing that somebody else, like, is costing somebody else. If all I can do at that period is just to stand by the person and just gist along.
And you're modeling it for them. Let them do it for their own children when they're older. I remember it was a while back. I think I was vacuuming, or I was doing something, and I got to the kids and they raised their legs. I said, me, I'm sweeping you. You're raising your legs. I can vacuum under your legs.
Because these are things that we could not do with our parents. So I see how, you know, sometimes like raising kids now, we want to say, we don't want to do some of the things that our parents did. We want to do better. But at the same time, exactly, like it's not okay. Let us know, guys. What do you think? Where do we draw the line with these things? Anyways, like we said, God help us, we can go on and on. Interesting conversations. Cool. Let us know in the comments what are like chores that you are giving your kids at what ages, particularly if you have, you know, kids with similar ages as ours, like in their early preteens and preteens. And also, what would you consider extreme in terms of enforcing that chore discipline? And I remember I was talking about like things like having washing machines, dishwashers. Should you still learn the manual approach to these things?
Or maybe there's someone out there that thinks you shouldn't even have machines. Let the kids do everything manually. Machines are spoiling children.
Let us know. Let us know. All right, as usual, thanks for watching. Thanks for, you know, always being here. And on to the next one is bye for now.
Bye.